I stopped using Twitter in 2023, about August, so over a year ago, and I deleted my account completely. I didn't, some people have stopped using it, some people have uninstalled the app, things like that.
Yeah.
But what has kind of been going on Twitter for the last year or so?
I mean, it's been weird. It's like to me, and I stopped actively using it. I wasn't like really a power user. I covered Twitter very closely, especially during right in the run up to Elon's taking a stake and then the lawsuits and then the eventual takeover, the aftermath of that. But it took a minute to really kind of deteriorate into what I see it as now. Even from a very pragmatic point of view, it's just not very useful. But it's truly, and like I did this whole experiment, right? I started completely from scratch on a brand new computer, no algorithmic history whatsoever, started a bunch of new accounts, interacted piecemeal. I tracked very specifically how I interacted with the platform. And I mean, it was just overwhelmingly what I think could easily be described as just toxic content. And Elon. I mean, just a lot of like violence, a lot of pornography, a lot of Elon Musk, a lot of crypto scams. Um, and I think that's directly related to Elon Musk's avowed wish to remove content moderation from the platform. Um, it was actually very interesting to me as a reporter to see what happens when you remove content moderation, how important trust and safety workers are to these platforms, um, how these platforms are truly inundated with poor quality toxic content that if you take those nets off, it just proliferates. It becomes everything. So yeah, X has really turned into something very different than what Twitter was, which is why I'm kind of like, I adamantly call it X. I know people are like sort of nostalgic for Twitter, but it's just not that platform anymore. It's just simply not. There's very little relation to what Twitter was to what X is today.
Interesting. That's a really interesting way to put it. I know a lot of people have been going back and forth. Hank Green put it one way where if it's like if you walk into my town and you decide, you're going to own the town and then you decide one day to call it something, just I've lived here for years, right? Like what gives you the right to, come in here and call it something else? But that is an interesting way to put it, that like it's nothing like what it was when, we were all growing up using Twitter.
Yeah. And like I get it. I get Hank Green's metaphor. I mean, I totally understand. And I think there's sort of a nostalgia there too. And there's like this sense of ownership. The reality is that nobody on X owns anything that they post. Musk has made that incredibly clear. And also, I mean, to really stretch out that metaphor of the town, yes, if somebody just comes in and owns the town now and doesn't change anything, fair enough. You can call it whatever you want. But if the new owner of the town comes in and raises every single building and then builds up something completely new, I don't know. I think it's probably a different town.